The Iowa Hawkeye women are victorious in Indianapolis in their first game of the Big Ten tournament, defeating the Illini by a final count of 64-58. They will be back in action tomorrow against either Oregon or Michigan. We are joined, as always, by former Iowa women's basketball guard Kachine Alexander. Happy March, Kachine. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I had a bit of an equipment malfunction, so you see I'm going with like the old braided earbuds here because I had an issue with my other pair. So hopefully, do I sound okay?
I don't have an issue, but as we know, sometimes we can hear each other and other people can't hear us. So you should ask the chat that.
You sound a little better than you did a couple of days ago.
I do. I think I'm still a little congested, but at least I have a voice. So
you do have a voice. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with how this team played today. This is an Illinois team, Cash, that is coming off 2 straight games. It's the advantage of being able to earn that double bye and not have to play until Friday. It's also a team that Jan talked about, and the same applies to Illinois. But they did have to play these last 2 opponents. Iowa was fresh off the Illinois scout, so that can help you, especially when you don't have to play 2 more teams prior. Really impressed with the first half, just defensively through 3 quarters. I know it got a little bit ugly there at the end with the reserves. I have no issue with Jan keeping that group in the game down the stretch. No issue at all. And I even made the comment, like, if it gets down to 4 or 5, fine. Now, I know that's playing with fire a little bit, but it did get down to 6, and Iowa blew a big lead there at the end, but closed it out. You just want to protect legs and health They're already down their starting guard, Taylor McCabe. They've dealt with injury. Hannah Stolke's been dealing with some stuff. Chit Chat's had her share of injuries this year. So, you're trying to avoid anything bad happening in a blowout victory. So, yes, the score is not really an indicator of how dominant this performance was, especially on the defensive end, Cash.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with Jan, like zero problem with her taking the starters out with almost 4 minutes left. I think in the Big Ten tournament, you have to treat these games a little bit different than you would a normal game because there is little to no rest. But what I will say is I'm so happy, another reason that we're on the bottom of the bracket, because we're not playing early in the morning. It allows you to get off your feet immediately. And the one thing I will say is that as a coach, it's very hard if you play at 12 o'clock to tell your players to stay off their feet for the remainder of the day. There's so many things to do in Indianapolis. They're not going to stay in their room. It's just what it is. So having the games at the bottom half of the bracket, and now what are they going to do? They're going to watch half of the Oregon, Maryland game. And then they're going to head back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Yeah, Michigan. They're going to head back probably at halftime. The coaches will stay. And then they'll, have some dinner and relax for the whole night. And now you've got 12 hours of off your feet, relaxing. And then in the morning, you take it easy. You know what I'm saying? So I am so happy that we have the second half. It makes it so much easier. But yeah, I have no problem with her resting the starters. Honestly, I still wasn't. I expected what happened to happen, but I wasn't mad about it, and I didn't think she should have. But anywho, yeah, I thought they played really well. I thought that. I loved how the coaches played Ava today. Loved it. I thought it was like perfect.
From a perspective of minutes distribution there?
Yeah, like how they played her. It was like they put her in, they took her out. And then it was like, boom, we'll put her in for a couple minutes. And then she will go on a tear of 6 straight, take her out. And it was more of, we need to save your legs, right? Like your work is going to get significantly harder as we go through this. And when Ava gets tired, she's starting to foul. So we don't want those problems. So I thought I liked how we played her minutes today. I love that. Hannah looks good. She didn't look like she had any issues. I love that for us. All the little bunnies she misses them anyway. So with a bad wing or not, doesn't matter. So yeah, I thought she played well. I thought her aggressiveness was still the same. I didn't see any timidness, I would say, with her. I thought Stremlo was great. Her shot was not falling at all, but I'll take it. I thought she was great, especially in the first half. I thought her assist in running the team in that aspect was really good. Our pace of play always picks up with her. So, yeah, and I thought Kylie was good. Somehow we figured out how to pass in the post today. It was great. It was all of these cuts to the baskets. The post was dishing off. I don't know what happened, but we figured it out. I love that for us. That's good. That's old basketball.
How much of that is the advantage of having played them recently, being sound on a scout, and being able to know who you're playing sooner than not sooner than Illinois, but you're playing one of two teams as opposed to Illinois having to prep for two teams, then you got to prep for Iowa.
Yeah, I think when we were talking about Michigan State versus Illinois, and I said I really want Illinois because I thought that it would be a better matchup for us. One, because of the tired legs, but also because we just played them. The scout is so much more detailed because what didn't work right away, and they don't have time to adjust. We played Michigan State. I don't even know when. So in my mind, it worked in our favor. And like I said, the team was already familiar with Illinois. And I think that showed today.
All right, we got people who want to chat. We're going to get to everybody. If you want to call the show, our 515 number is booked up right now. So you can call via StreamYard. The link is in our description. I also threw it up in the live chat. If you want to interact with Kachine and I, you can do that. DJ Doug, How about that Kylie backdoor fear box? And Cece had USA basketball practice. That's why she wasn't at the game in case anybody brings it up. And Gabby Marshall, Kate Martin were both at the game. There may have been other former players that they didn't zero in on, but those two were sitting beside one another. But I know people sometimes dog on you and I for maybe not giving Kylie credit enough in their minds. I thought Kylie was really good through most of this game. And I thought she established in the first quarter, this whole team established itself defensively. Like half spin, fake spin that play she made underneath to get the layup.
Stremlo. She learned that from Streb.
Well, I'm like, hey,
that's like
all right, Kylie, I see you.
Stremlo's signature. I said that actually too. Literally, I said those exact words. I said, okay, Kylie, I see you. But yeah, I felt like she kind of had it set in her mind that, you know, she was going to be aggressive in that aspect. And then I felt like her freshman level turnovers like slowed her down. Does that make sense? Like she was really, really good. And then she made those horrible passes. And then it kind of like stopped her momentum a little bit. And then she kind of became a little bit timid again, but I need her to keep that. But yeah, I thought the backdoor cuts and the X cuts that we were doing off the post was great. And our post players were fantastic at making that pass. So it was good.
Appreciate that super chat, Doug. Means a lot. Any donations, any support of the show means a ton. Katie Lee's also a Discord member. So thank you, Katie. She adds a super chat. Excellent win. How can the team best prepare for their next match in the tournament? I promise you we will talk about it, Katie. And I know, Cash, you probably want to watch the Oregon-Michigan game, but you're going to watch it anyways. Don't even have to tell me. I know you're going to be multitasking. So I don't blame anybody for doing that. Get your phone out. Get your tablet out. Do the dual screen on your TV if you can do it between YouTube and YouTube TV or whatever you stream with. But we'll get to that, Katie. Appreciate your super chat. Bo, he is also a Discord member and a premium member. He adds the super chat here. Huge props to Stremlo. 6 dimes, only 1 turn. You see the stats scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Stolke with 13 on 6 of 11 shooting, 5 boards. Hayden dealt with some foul. Well, she really didn't deal with foul issues. I shouldn't say that. They were just very she had the early foul that was not smart on her part. I thought it was a questionable call she got early in that first quarter. But she ended up 6 of 7. Just so efficient with what she does around the basket, getting position early. Now we're hearing more and more comparisons to one of her predecessors, Gustafson. But Hayden was 6 of 7 from the field, 4 boards, 5 blocks, 3 assists. You mentioned Strem, 4 of 10 for Taylor. She made just 1 of her 6 3-point attempts, but also added 6 assists and 4 rebounds. And as you brought up, just demanding, command of the team when things needed to run through her as opposed to Chit Chat. Kylie was good at 4 of 7 with 10 points. Chit Chat was solid with 12 on 2 of 3 3-point shooting, 5 boards, 4 assists. And Journey Houston kind of sneakily giving you 12 rebounds all on the defensive end. But she looked good as well, Cash, in spite of just 4 points.
Absolutely. Overall, I think that everybody came to play today in that aspect. And I think they were ready for Illinois. And like I said, I know the coaches were telling them they're not going to shoot like that. It's not happening. So just do you, and the rest will take care of itself.
All right, folks. As I said here a few days ago, as we head into postseason play into March, if I catch you short, just know it's not personal. So we got a bunch of people who want to chat. Let's go to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line? Hello, you're on the air.
Message has been transcribed. One moment while I know.
Hey, this is John.
Oh, you're on the air. Hey, John.
Hey, you there?
I got you, John.
Message has been transcribed.
Yeah, I'm being transcribed as usual.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know how to shut that off. I don't know what to do.
Are you able to turn down your device a little bit? I can hear myself echoing.
Yeah, I did. I turned it down.
Okay, perfect. Welcome to the show, John. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, good game. They played defense against Illinois, and it made a big difference.
They sure did.
I tell you what, that old Ava Hayden, she's got the best hands. They just kind of throw that pass to her, and it gets anywhere close to her, she gobbles that thing up and it's gone.
She gets position early, seals off her defender, and yeah, you're right. I can finish with both hands. We're going to be talking here in a few weeks, Kachine, whenever this team's season's over. I think we're going to be talking about, okay, what can Ava do to take the next step? So I won't ask that question now, but John, you're right. Her maturation in year 2 has been impressive.
Yep, no Hannah knocking down them elbow jump shots. That's pretty cool too.
Big as well. Been waiting for that. Yeah.
Stremlo, when she wasn't starting and she was on the bench, she didn't really have a purpose. And when you give her a purpose, she has really upped her game. And I really that she just needs a purpose, and she's good to go. But other than that, Kachine, how much do you love your coach running up and yelling at you every time you're up and down the court? Does that get to you?
What do you mean?
Well, Jan, it seems like every play she's yelling and screaming at him and all that. I don't know. I just find it would be annoying to me if I was a player. You know what I mean? You know how Jan's always running up and down the sideline, yelling every play, always yelling at them while they're doing whatever. I don't know.
So you don't like the yelling, John?
It's called coaching.
Yeah,
She's coaching.
I mean, I don't know.
And you have to yell because they won't hear you.
Though.
Right. But you're calling plays, whether that be offensive or defensively. You're not actually yelling instruction or criticism every time. That's not happening.
Wouldn't it distract you? Doesn't it distract you?
No.
Listen, if it distracts you and you're playing at this level, you shouldn't be playing at this level.
Yeah, no, it happens. It has to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Ben McCollum does the same thing, John. If you watch Ben
How
McCollum,
far are we going to be able to make it?
He might be more. That man is coaching every single second of the possession. Love him for it, though. But
yeah, I think he coaches. Yeah. I think he coaches in game more than Jan does, honestly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
know they all do it, but I'm just wondering if it bothered you when they did it.
Yeah. Well, John, we appreciate you calling in, sir, and we're going to probably get to talk to you tomorrow, either way, win or loss, right?
Yep.
All right, sir.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Appreciate it, man. All right. Yeah, so Bob, I'll address it because he brings it up. He's one of our premium members. I hate to criticize with a game like this, but Hannah has to clean up her bunnies. I will say I was tracking this today, Iowa as a whole, and I think Hannah was accounted for 3 of these. I counted 5 point-blank misses at the rim for Iowa. That's 10 points, Hannah. Kachine, that's 10 points. That's too many, is it not?
It's definitely too many, but it's Hannah, and she.
No, it wasn't just Hannah. It wasn't just. No, it was all.
Yeah, but she had at least 4 of them.
Yeah, she had 3. I think she had 3 of them. I think she had 3 of them.
Yeah. So that's a lot of the most. But again, Ava had one that was uncharacteristic right at the beginning of the game. I think it was the first possession actually. So yeah, I mean, of course you would not like to, but it's all right. I ain't too stressed out about it.
All right, let's go back to our phone line. We got Tim joining us. Tim, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I would say like it's kind of hard to rebound after wins, and I feel like in this game Iowa rebounded. They cleaned up some things that they kind of messed up on in the first Illinois game. So that was good to see them rebound even after a win or beating them. And Ava, I think what makes Ava so special, especially when she's going, is her ability to kind of switch out on guards and stuff. And I think that's what makes Iowa's defense great as well, is we can still play with 2 bigs and we can still switch on ball screens and stuff like that. And it was impressive to see her kind of switch on ball screens and still be able to protect the rim. And Addie just got to let the ball go. I feel like sometimes she kind of was timid, thinking about and then making a mistake. She just got to let the ball go because she was open. She's just not letting the ball go. And then she don't dribble laterally. She dribbled to the side. And it ain't like she's snatching after she dribbled to the side to give herself an advantage. to go the other way. She's just dribbling to the side and kind of stagnating the offense, and our offense stagnant in general.
Yeah, what would you say the biggest issue there at the end was, Kachine, as far as because the offense got real stagnant?
They didn't run any offense, and that was solely because Addie Deal didn't pass the ball.
That's what I was going to say.
He just kept dribbling around the top of the key.
I'm yelling. There were a couple times I'm like, what is happening? Why is nobody getting? Why is the ball stuck?
Run an offense, like run something, but she just kept dribbling, and I was like,
that's
okay.
a learning moment for if you're Addie, and I mean Layla had a learning moment there as well in a timeout in the last couple of minutes. By the way, I've had I don't know how to deal with it. I have this all of a sudden this swarm of box elder bugs that got into my house today, and they're taking over the studio. So I think it's because they know we got a pretty big storm rolling in. Actually, I hear it outside. So hopefully there's no power issues, but if there is an issue with Wi-Fi, hopefully we'll be able to make it work. So anyways, Tim, anything else?
I would just say we just got to be prepared for tomorrow. And of course, we're going to scout and coaches going to watch the games, and we're going to watch some of the games. And then we just got to come out with intensity, focus on the goal, and that's becoming Big Ten champs.
There you go, sir. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you calling in, sir.
No problem. Have a good day.
You too. Hey, your bracket's looking pretty good, as is mine. I mean, in general.
Looking great.
We both called the Ohio State over Minnesota. We did not call Oregon over Maryland.
No,
I think they would beat them twice. They beat them away from home twice this season.
Oregon is playing with a lot of energy and intensity. Like they are like Oregon is playing like somebody that wants to upset.
Yeah. Well,
be like the white horse that's snuck into the semis or something. Like that's what they're playing like.
So you believe they could beat Michigan tonight?
Everybody's beatable.
UCLA.
Plus, I love Oregon's coach. I love Kelly Brace. So I think he's a fantastic coach. So let's see. They can get some threes to drop. We're gonna see.
Folks are.
Think about it. Washington was playing UCLA damn near neck and neck until the fourth quarter. You never know.
Yeah, and I was disappointed with USC's. I know that Jazzy
was unfortunate
early in the game, but I expected a better team performance. And they're a weird team. I'll be anxious to see. Because they're in the field, aren't they? Aren't they projected in USC?
Yes.
So they're projected in. I'll be anxious to see. I don't know
I think they're an 8 or 9 seed or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know what Jazzy's diagnosis is, but I'll be curious to see how they pan out here. In the NCAA tournament. Cool Water, Swish RC says, Kachine was on the money. If we seen Illinois again, and we was going to give them the business, and she was right. There you go. I agree with that. You were on that, and you said that you're not going to shoot. Like
I said, that's who I wanted to play. I did not want to play Michigan State. I'm sorry.
How much? I
didn't want to play them at all.
What percentage of the struggles for Illinois offensively were Iowa wanted to prove a point, having given up so many threes against Illinois on their home court here a few days ago, versus Illinois' got maybe some tired legs having played their third game in 3 days?
I think a couple of things went into it. Obviously, the third game in 3 days is definitely one from the three-point line. And I said before, in the Big Ten tournament, if you don't have a post presence, you're going to struggle in the Big Ten tournament the further you go, because them threes ain't going to be hitting. The further you go into it, the more games you play. And having a post presence is that Illinois is all perimeter based. Even though they're two post players, they're guards. So they want to shoot threes, they want to be outside the paint, etc. So with that, I think it was partly that, of course. But then I do think that Iowa was able to make adjustments, and you could see the game plan as far as what they wanted to do and what they wanted to accomplish based off of the game they just played them. So I think it was a combination of those things is what really kind of set the tone, because, mean, they were horrible from three, something 5 of 22 or something like that. Like, well, that'll do it.
OG Hawk says, apparently Corey has to be careful criticizing Jan about subs in the final 3 minutes. Well,
why would she keep her stars in the game when they are up freaking 17? Like, what's the purpose of that? Like, because you've got to turn around and play tomorrow, and they're probably going to play 40 minutes potentially for the next 2 games. We have no bench. You saw that today, right? We got 7 players. Like, we maybe got 6, maybe 6.5, depending on what Addie decides she want to do. 6.5. We got Journey Houston and potentially Addie. So you ain't got no choice but to rest them. You play them.
I think Callie's playable. I mean, I'm not gonna belabor that point.
I'm not saying she's not playable. She is not going to give us like
no.
Okay, right. So you have 6.5 options in regards to people that can actually produce for you. Like 6.5. So you have to rest those people. Yes, if push comes to stuff down the line, you can throw in a Callie for a couple minutes, a minute or two. Great. You can throw in a Tegan, depending on matchups, for a minute or two, but they're not going to give you much. They're just a rest, if that's the case. Now, I ain't talking about a rest. I'm talking about actual options that can score the basketball.
I gotta address this. Jay Creed says, these kids are like 20 years old. The rest stuff is BS. And yes, I played. Well, I played too, but it doesn't mean I played Big Ten basketball and competed in.
I was just about to say.
So what do you mean by you played? Like I played in a sandbox when I was 3 years old. That does not qualify me to compete for a Big Ten championship. So let's just establish that. I just, people have heard me, you've heard me, Cash, be critical of Jan not taking players out soon enough. And so, and if you're going to do it at any point, do it once you get to tournament play. If you have a chance to blow somebody out in tournament play,
get them out of there.
Get them the heck out of there. And
get them out of there.
The game was over. Like Illinois did everything it could to get it down to 6. I have no issue with the way Iowa closed this game. Besides just those are teaching moments, and Jan mentioned that in her post-game interview with Big Ten Network. Those are teaching moments, but that's a great teaching opportunity, is it not, Kachine?
Absolutely. Something you can look at film-wise, et cetera. So, yeah, you absolutely can use that as film. And honestly speaking, at that time, if you're weighing the odds, like Illinois wasn't shooting the ball well. So the quickest way to get into a basketball game of any sort is to shoot threes, right? So they weren't shooting the ball well in that aspect. And then on top of that, yes, like I said, I don't know what we were running or what the case was. I don't know what the idea was. But honestly speaking, it was just offense. It wasn't a defensive situation. Like, run something. Like, run anything at this point. Hell, run it through Journey. I don't care. Do something. Like,
well, I keep going back to this, but only one of their guards touched the ball. I don't think Callie touched the ball at all. And so I'm just saying, like, I know I'm just saying, like, it literally stuck with one person every possession. I don't know that Callie touched the ball one time.
Yeah. And I think, I think this is also a learning opportunity for Coach Jay as well, right? Because us not running offense is not all on Deal. It's also on you. Call something that is going to get the ball in the hands of somebody you want it to be in, which means run something for Journey, right? It's the best option out of all 5 on the court. So run something for her so that you can actually get the ball in the hands of somebody you want it to be in. But I think that she's so used to a team being run by Taylor Stremlow and Chit Chat that, like, sometimes you don't have to call every play. In this group, you need to call every single set play. Every single one. It need to be set. No motion, none of that. Just a set play. And then, especially when it started to get, a little dicey, under 10, that scenario. Like, we need to get strict plays. For
what was Illinois doing? What was Illinois doing with like 15
Nothing.
No, listen, with 15 seconds, they're down 6 and they just gave up. I don't understand. They're down 6. They literally gave up. I would be stripping. Listen, you got all of these backups in there that are struggling to handle the ball. I would do everything until the clock hits 0 to get a steal. You hit a 3 and all of a sudden it's a 1-score game.
Right. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe they just retired. I don't know. It did look kind of weird because I expected them to up the pressure. But I'll take it. Thank you.
Ava Hayden, 16 points, 6 to 7 from the field. Perfect at the foul line as well. 4 of 4. 5 blocks, 4 rebounds, 3 assists in just 18 minutes. She's our player of the game. Big Grove's big play of the game. Taylor Strimlow's spin move and the and one field goal to make it 26-13 with 9:04 to go in the second. I liked that play a lot. I could have easily gone with the pass back to kind of a
that wasn't as fun.
To chit chat. That was not as hard of a play to make. Like
no.
Like they left chit chat all by herself, and all Strimlow needed to do was straight line pass. Excuse me, the chit chat all by herself. So, but she did. It seems like we've had a number of Big Grove's big plays involve Taylor Strimlow this year. She is definitely one of their flashier guards with the basketball, and still lots to. I did think it was. Big Ten Network was making this big deal of her dad being out on the court and doing that, whatever that was, some, timeout game or whatever, trying to make sure he did play college basketball. He's a former college basketball player. So I just thought it was funny. They were making a big deal of it like he's some embarrassing dad. Well, he was a former college basketball player. So anyways, all right, let's go back to our phone line. We have got Kayla with us. Kayla, welcome.
Okay, so my question is kind of based on the men's game last night. And with 23 seconds left, Sturts had the ball and he didn't really see anything, so he passed it to Banks and didn't go well. Obviously, Ava's our best player, and if that type of situation were to happen where there's 20 seconds left, she gets the ball, she's in the post, and she doesn't feel comfortable making a move, and there's 10 seconds has passed maybe or so after that. Sorry, this is a lot of words. But would you rather her try and force something up she's not comfortable with because she's our superstar, or would you rather have her pass it out and try to make somebody else take it?
Two things. I think Sturts and Ava are two different scenarios because Sturts is out on the perimeter. So that's a little bit difficult because you can trap out there, you can do whatever, and you can leave a situation. If we're being honest, that was just a hell of a defensive play by Michigan in that aspect to kind of reach over and get it off the knee. But again, I don't have an issue with that play per se. If you notice in the men's game, Sturts was getting tired towards the end. He kind of passed out. So it worked for us, a few times. So that's fine. And so he was trusting that had worked for us the last 2 possessions. Let me try this again because he was open, for a second. And he had kind of that lane. And if they didn't make the play, you never know. Anywho, with this scenario, if Ava's going to get the ball, she's going to get it in the position she wants to get it in. So even if somebody's double teaming her, shoot the damn ball. Because at the end of the day, when you make that post move, who is on the other side for offensive rebound? Hannah. So I would prefer Ava if she did get it. She's turning and going. Ava's not usually getting it in a position where she's so far out where they can trap, if that makes sense.
I would just add to that so Sturts and Ava are totally different players. Sturts can straight off the dribble. So that not only are they totally different players as it relates to position, Ava can't dribble. I mean, she can dribble in the post, but she's not going to get anybody off the dribble. That's not her game. So what I have, I agree with Cash. The play last night where Tavion had it knocked away off his leg. The only issue I have with that, it was a good take. Gary Close brought it up in the post game. He probably could have gotten fouled, so maybe you get an and one and win the game on an and one. My issue with it, I guess, is, and this is me kind of wanting my cake and eating it too. All year I've been complaining about Iowa men's basketball's late game offense and everything kind of just ending with a Bennett Sturts step back 3. To me, last night in that position with 22 seconds, that's when I wanted a Bennett Sturts step back 3 because I didn't want that game to go to overtime. I did not want a 2. And normally, home game, especially senior night, raucous crowd is a great environment. Were you there, Kayla?
No, but I watched the game.
It was a phenomenal crowd. I mean, it's one of the best crowds that I've been a part of in years for Iowa men's hoops. And but at the same time, bad matchup. Iowa had competed its tail off. Everybody's got foul trouble. 3 of their 5 on-court players down the stretch had 4 fouls. So I wanted a 3 to go for the win there. If you're Iowa women's basketball, if it's not there for Ava, she doesn't have an angle, or certainly if a double comes, you have no choice but to pass it out and see if you can get, a Taylor string. The problem is they really don't, besides Chit Chat Cash, we've talked about this, they don't have a Bennett Sturts equivalent to break you. Like Chit Chat can break you down.
Not out there, no.
But she lacks size, so it's hard for her to get enough separation in a late game situation to, even with her ability to create off the dribble. That's why I go back. Maybe it's Stremlo. Let's just hope they're not in that situation, because I wonder what late game.
The ball has to go to Ava if they're in that situation.
Have they been in that situation this year? Like, when's the last time they've had a late game?
There was an Iowa State situation. Remember when Hannah threw the ball away? I don't know what we were doing. There's been a couple of situations where we got the ball to Stremlo and we didn't get it to Ava. There's been a few last possessions that did not go well. And none of them we got into who we were supposed to get it to. So I don't know.
Yeah. Does that answer your question, Kayla?
Yeah. And then, so Chit Chat ended up playing 35 minutes tonight, which is still a lot, especially in a game that was pretty comfortable the whole time. With her cramping and the fact that in the past, we've done like a back-to-back-to-back type tournament, and this year we didn't. How much does that worry you? Because she hasn't had that experience of back-to-back days, and cramping has obviously been an issue.
We didn't play Baylor.
It was like we did, but there was like a day in between, I think.
Well, that doesn't count. I don't like her playing 35 minutes, but I understood it. But I would prefer her to be like 30 minutes in this game. If you could have done less, I'd have been happy with that too. But it's nothing you can do about it now. Hindsight's. She's just going to keep going up. I foresee Chit Chat playing 40 minutes the next 2 games. So she's just going to have to do a really good job of continuing to do whatever she's been doing to get herself moving and going and loose and not cramping. So she's just going to – this is where the athletic trainers make their money, right here, where in between these games. I will say that for sure. But yeah, I guess we will see, but it could be a worry.
Okay, I did not hear that for some reason, but and we lost Corey, so double whammy.
I don't know where Corey went. He's probably swatting those bugs or something of the sort. But you can hear me now? Kind of, no?
I still cannot. I'm going to.
Well, it's just me, guys. Hi. But anyways, I can't even take calls. Like, who does this? But anyways, yes, I feel like anybody have any questions in the chat? Matter of fact, now I think about it. Like I was saying before, I think that Chit Chat is definitely a worry with her legs. I hope that they are doing everything they can to keep her feeling good. Full screen cash. You hear me? I love this for me. I don't know where Corey is. I'm just by my side. Yeah, I don't know. Anywho, what else should we talk about?
What happened
my goodness.
Real quick, wait. What happened to Kayla?
I have no idea. Something happened with her like sound. She couldn't hear me.
Yeah, I could not hear. And then you went out and it was just
that's
really
weird.
awkward.
So this could be maybe this is an issue. I thought it was an issue with Wi-Fi because with the storm coming through, but maybe it was a glitch with StreamYard that bumped both of us because you lost audio at the same time. I could see because
We
I was
lost audio.
and anyways, we won't get into the weeds, but Cash, what'd you do for those few seconds that you were on by yourself?
I was talking to the chat.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
actually finished talking about the chit chat thing, but you guys were
Okay.
pretty quick.
Well, I could go back and listen to it later, but give me a cliff notes of what you were finishing up with on chit chat.
She asked about chit chat, and I was pretty much saying that, with her situation with her legs, that, this is pretty much where the athletic trainers make the money, which is in between these two games and making sure that the players are well rested and they're getting taken care of in the right way. So I think for the tonight and tomorrow is definitely important to stay off and don't go to the mall. Okay. Because that never works. Do that before you start playing.
What mall?
There's a very nice mall in
yeah.
Indianapolis. It's like fantastic. Like I had to go every single time, but I went before we started playing. But yeah, it's a great mall. It's fantastic. And plus you walk the street. It's just a really nice area overall. I always enjoy my time.
Not to change the subject, but that's interesting coming from somebody who is from Mall of Americaville. I find that sort of odd that you from Minneapolis would comment about how great some mall in Indianapolis is.
You want to know the craziest part about that? Everybody that's actually from Minneapolis does not like the Mall of America.
Why?
It's just full of people. It's like people got suitcases. It's like just a lot. It's a lot. So for me, I just kind of like a really nice mall, and that was so weird. Like their mall was like downtown. That was different. You know what I'm saying? Like it was within downtown. You didn't even know it was a mall until you walked in there, which was so cool. I don't know if it's there now, but back then it was amazing.
Is it as good as the Ped Mall in Iowa City?
Wait a minute, it's a mall. It's like.
I know. I'm kidding.
The Ped Mall is just a street.
The Ped Mall is great.
It's a street. It's a street.
You like the Ped Mall?
I actually eat lunch in there every time before I have to go to class because I have 40 minutes in my day to eat lunch. Yeah. But it's not that nice.
Give us the most underrated restaurant in Iowa City. This is going to be a free plug for somebody.
Encounter Cafe.
Encounter Cafe?
It's so good. I've seen women's basketball players go there even. That's how. But the line is crazy long. Like you'll show up because they're not open. They're Amish, so they're not open on Sundays. So Saturdays when you go, breakfast and lunch is the main ones. Okay. I had their coffee for the first time a couple weeks ago. I'm not a coffee person, and that was really good.
Okay. Where is that at?
It's kind of. Do you know where the Rec is?
No. Is that what part of Iowa City, or is it in Coralville?
It's in Iowa City. I'm trying to think because it's like not far from my apartment, so maybe like 10 minutes from downtown.
Okay, I'm sure people are just thrilled we're talking about this after the Big Ten tournament win, but I'm curious. Yeah, I was just curious from perspective. A lot of people say the Red Garden.
I haven't been there. It's very
Red Garden.
If you're healthy, if that makes sense.
Oh, that
not my place. All right.
They got some gelato and donuts that don't look so healthy to me. But yes, they have lots of healthy options as well. So anyways, I'm sorry to change the subject. Was there any? Did you have any questions, Kayla?
No, those are the only two. But I did want to comment as a 20-year-old with the one comment that you showed up earlier. I get super sore after my workout class after not working out for a week. So I can't imagine how sore they get after a whole basketball game.
Okay.
Kachine?
Thank you for the 20-year-old. That comment didn't make no sense. So I was like, what kind of basketball was you playing? Like, I want to know what kind of basketball.
Who are you talking to?
The guy who said the comment. Like, what kind of basketball was he playing where he said the tired is BS? Like, what kind of basketball was you playing?
Okay. I get the connection now. Okay. I'm like, wait, where did that come from? Okay. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. I I don't even think it's about legs so much as it is just protecting the health of players. Here's the deal, like the most they're going to have to play this week to win a championship is 3 games. That's not the issue. The issue is you're playing in March. It's the same issue as had they, beaten Illinois a week or two ago whenever they played them last by 20 and they leave their starters in too long in the fourth quarter. I'd have been saying the same thing. It's about availability this time of year, especially. And we were on the verge of missing 2 starters tonight. Thankfully, one of them played. The other is out for the year. So, I have no issue with it either. So, Kayla, we appreciate you being here as always. Thanks for being in the Discord.
Yes, it's lots of fun in there.
We'll plan on chatting with you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Kayla. All right. Yes. Everybody be safe. Megan says the storms are rolling here in central Iowa. So hopefully we stay on the air. I stay on the air. Kachine, what's the weather out in Charlotte right now?
80 plus.
No storms?
It's probably in the 70s now. It's probably somewhere around there, high 60s.
It was like 60 today here, and it's supposed to be 70 here on Monday.
Yeah, since I got threatened the last time I didn't wear my Hawkeye snuggie, I have my hands because it's hot.
Yeah, nobody's threatening our co-host. We have a super chat coming in here from Doug. He says, "Why did they keep forcing into Layla even earlier in the game? The starters were acting like she is Ava or Hannah, and somehow she had only 1 turnover."
I wouldn't say they were forcing it. She was open. And I don't think that they were thinking she was Ava. Because if that was the case, she would have scored a lot more. Because they would have got her the ball a lot more. But they are trying to use her.
They are trying to use her. And
she did just have 10 points the other day. So.
And is it fair to say this offense is still going to be predicated? They don't have enough backcourt talent.
It's always going to go through the post.
It's got to go through the post.
It's going to go that way.
Yeah. So I guess that's maybe partly an answer to your question, Doug. Patrick Wilson with the super chat. Thank you, Patrick. Solo cash question. Journey had 11 rebounds in 16 minutes through the third quarter. Was that a typical cash game?
I would say so. She's going to have a 20-board game by the time she graduates. Mark my words.
So is it just with Journey, because she's honestly an undersized 4, right? She's like more natural guard. Is it just a knack she has?
Yes, I think so. I don't think she's like overly athletic and can jump out of the gym. No, she's not like Hannah in that aspect. But I think she just has a knack for rebounding. And she's tough. That also helps. Got to be tough to rebound.
Folks, please hit the like button if you're here. Thumbs up. Donate to the show if you're interested, so willing. Links for PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App are all in the description. And a new tornado watch for Iowa, part of Iowa, has been issued. We had one out earlier, and I believe this is probably just an extension of that earlier tornado watch. So try to get that. Well, let's get our next guy. I do want to let people know, because I'm sure we got plenty of people listening here in central Iowa. Let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Cash Money Alexander. Who's on the line?
Here's the deal. Like, the most are going to.
Hi, this is Annie.
Hi, Annie.
I got to turn my iPad down. I'm way behind you guys. With the volume.
You're here. We got you.
Okay. I thought it was a nice win. And, I thought Jan was right to use the bench when she did. The starters played really well together. The bench, they gave me a conniption in the fourth quarter, but she had to do what she had to do. I mean, she's got to rest her starters. It's a competitive tournament, and I get that. I agree that it did help that we played Illinois recently. I think we read the team pretty well. I think, I saw it on defense. I think that helped that we did play them. And I thought Stremlow was, her presence on the court was very, she made things happen. I think she was on tonight. She looked effective, and, I think the team was reacting well to Stremlow. Kylie was on, and I thought she had a good game. She looked pretty sharp. And Ava's Ava. She had another good game. She's coming into her own. And she's developing into a really good center, I'm really impressed with her. And Journey, I like Journey. I'm a Journey fan. I think she should get more playing time. I think she's a hustler out there. She's on the ball. She's got good court sense. I'm a Journey fan. Other than that, I'm glad they won. It was a nice win. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Annie, thank you for waiting on hold for so long and keeping your call. Right? Some people like to go on and on. We appreciate your concise comments this evening.
Yeah, that's I call it as I see it.
You're from New York. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
You betcha. As they say in Iowa, you betcha.
Yeah, you betcha. Thank you,
I went
Annie.
to college out there. I'm very familiar.
You got it.
You guys take good care. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Annie.
Bye, Annie.
Yeah, just an update for everybody because we want to keep everybody safe. Tornado watch has been issued for much of east central and southeastern Iowa, basically from Waterloo, line from Waterloo to Dubuque, all the way down into the Iowa City area and down into parts of Missouri,
basically
as well down to Keokuk, Dubuque, all the way down. So all of those
Iowa City area.
Caller on hold because I don't want to hear myself. All of those counties are now under a tornado watch until 4 a.m. Central Time, with the National Weather Service now saying that there are a few tornadoes likely, and scattered hail up to 2 inches in size are also likely. Scattered gusts up to 70 miles per hour likely. Tornado watch remains in effect for much of central and southwestern Iowa, from a line extending from Fort Dodge down through Carroll to Omaha, Ames, Des Moines, and down into Nebraska and even parts of, let's see here, Kansas. So, and that it's interesting, just language. I don't know if you knew this, Kachine. I kind of wanted to do meteorology when I was really young, but this is sort of interesting. The earlier tornado watch that expires at 10 p.m. Central Time for central and southwestern Iowa, the lingo from the National Weather Service was a couple strong tornadoes possible. And now the new tornado watch, which includes Marshalltown, Newton, Oskaloosa, Ottumwa, Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Waterloo, Dubuque, Davenport, Clinton, the lingo, a few tornadoes are likely. So please be safe, folks, and make sure your phones should go off, but make sure if you have a weather radio, you're turned on and just stay alert to the weather. So we'll try to keep people safe as best we can, even though I am not a meteorologist. All right, let's go back to
pretty good to me.
Oh, thank you. I need a green screen is what I need. Let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
Hi, it's Chris in Wyoming.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, I just have one thing, and it's about Journey. The awards, Big Ten awards came out this year, and Addie got something like Freshman of the Year on the freshman team, and Journey doesn't even get mentioned. And, I'm just wondering because I thought if between the two of them, I'd take Journey. I feel so much better when Journey's in the game, and Addie's still not making great decisions out there, in my opinion. So I just wonder if I'm off on this or what you guys think.
Well, we haven't really talked much about Addie to this point because, they dominated today, but you're not the only person that feels that way, Chris. I mean, I just haven't talked about it because, we're talking about other things. No, Addie struggled. I mean, she still doesn't make great decisions with the ball, Kachine. She's not giving them much. I mean,
right.
She had a couple of post feeds tonight. I can pull up her final numbers. Probably ended up with like 3 assists. But what are your thoughts on that question from Chris, Kachine?
I mean, I think I'm pretty sure everybody feels that Journey should have been on the all freshman team in that aspect. I mean, her numbers, what she continually does night in and night out, etc. Like I said, I think some of it can be politics at the end of the day. But yeah, I think Addie is still struggling. She's pretty much been struggling since her start situation. In my opinion, I don't think she's come back from that, which is partly what I was a little bit worried about to begin with in that whole scenario. But at the end of the day, as a freshman, you're going to have ups and downs. You're just going to have it. And I think for her sake, hopefully she can end the season well to kind of go into the summer in that aspect. But I mean, it is what it is. Freshman Journey just has a chip on her shoulder. At least that's what she should.
Well,
she should have a chip on her shoulder.
And I just feel like I'm not down on Addie. I know she's got the potential, and she's really had one good game this season. And then you have Journey that has just been steady from the start. It just didn't make sense to me, and I just wanted to see if what you thought about it. It seems like we agree.
Here are her stats.
Yep.
Her stats, Chris, tonight. She played 18 minutes, 0 of 4 from the field, 3 assists, 4 turnovers. I mean, that's not good enough. Now, she's a true freshman. We keep saying that, but she's nearing the end of her true freshman year, and they need her to be better than that. And the ball did start when she was in the game there at the end. And like Cash said earlier, that's not just on her as the point guard, but yeah, I mean, you got to start commanding the offense when you're called upon, because here's the deal. They're already down Taylor. We don't want anything to happen to anyone else. But, Cash, you talked about the lack of depth. If they lose one more guard, now all of a sudden, like, Addie's going to have to play a ton. She goes from playing a decent amount, she played 18 minutes tonight, to probably, playing almost starter-level minutes. So we always hear about guard play in the tournament being a key to success. So she's got to be better with the basketball. And I mean, she just hasn't found her shot since that spurt there midway through conference play where she was hot.
Correct.
Right. That was fantastic. So I just wondered, do you think she got honored because of all the hype she had in high school? I mean, when you say political, is that what you're talking about? And because her expectations
yeah, like she's a 5-star recruit kind of deal.
Yeah. Okay. And who heard of Journey, right? So
Journey was a top prospect at one time, and then kind of fell down the rankings. She was still a 4-star recruit and in the ESPN top 60, I think, top 50. But you're overlooked when you get a player from California who is top 10 and a 5-star.
Yeah. That's not fair. Anyway, I just want to register as a Journey fan.
Absolutely. She was robbed. 100% she was robbed, at least in my opinion.
I thought so.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's all I got to say, you guys.
Right,
and go Hawks.
Thanks for the call. Go Hawks. Yes. Ascent 77. Watches and warnings are very different. When did I ever say warning? I never said that. I said tornado watch. If there was a warning, then I would, I would give that out as best I can. Ron says, are we hosting NCAA? Yes, they are going to be hosting the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. Assuming they can make it to the second round, they'll get at least 2 more games. They'll get 2 more games at Carver. Cyhawk C Money says, who is more valuable to their team, Sturts or Ava? We won't go there. That's a good question, though. That's a good question. It's Sturts. But Ava's pretty important right now for this team. I think we can agree on that. But it Sturts. AJ Peters says, does Jan bring in a backup center for Ava in the portal next year? We've kind of addressed this. You think they will? Yeah, I don't think they will.
I think she needs to, personally.
Well, she may need to, but I don't believe she will. I think she'll hang her hat on developing Layla.
Okay.
No, maybe they'll get somebody. I think it's going to be a hard sell. Who are you going to get that you're going to bring in? Ava's got 2 years left.
We're not trying to get somebody who is trying to beat Ava out of a spot. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to get somebody who is more reliable than Layla. That's it. We're not trying to get a superstar in the 5. We're not trying to do that.
How many of those players? I'm just asking you, how many of those players are available that you're going to go find somebody that's more reliable than Layla that doesn't have aspirations to start somewhere? And oh, by the way, basically has no chance of starting at Iowa because Ava's got 2 years left.
Remember, we don't have a 4 player either. So if this is a 5 player that can or a 4-5 player, somebody that can play the 4 and the 5, that would be ideal.
I agree. That versatility may be hard to find, but no, absolutely. They need help at the 4, I think, more than the 5. Sam says it was the best show ever once Corey left. So thank you for that. Bonnie, Hey, Bonnie's a premium member. She says, shout out to the Hawkeyes starting 5 tonight. When we needed a basket, we went to Ava and she took it to the hoop. Journey's rebounding was timely. Kachine, who do you want the Hawks to play next? Would you rather Oregon or Michigan? I would rather Oregon.
Oregon, 1,000%.
Yeah. Oregon's playing well, but I am not scared of Michigan, but after how the way Iowa beat them last time, it just makes me nervous for what could be coming tomorrow. But if Hannah's playing now, is it going to be an interesting storyline to see how Hannah's elbow responds tonight and tomorrow morning? Will that be a storyline for you?
That's always a storyline. Like I said, she looked really good in regards to her elbow. I don't know. There was a comment or something from, I don't remember who, that had said like Jan tends to overreact of certain things, whatever. That might have been true because she didn't look like she had any problems. Because like I said, even with a good arm, she's missed that many layups in the game before. So I can't really say if that's the reason. I mean, I'm going to say it just because I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. But at the same point in time, like, she looked great, in my opinion. She didn't rebound as much as I think she normally does. I will say that. But overall, I thought she looked good to me.
What's the score?
20-27 Michigan, 2:12 left in the second quarter.
20-27 Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a game. I mean, that's the game. Noel says, who is the player of the game? It is Ava Hayden with her 16 points, 16.7 field goal attempts, and 16 points, 5 blocks, 4 boards, 3 assists in 18 minutes. And quite frankly, Cash, we could have gone with Stremlo.
You could have gone there.
I thought Feuerbach was really good. I thought Wright was really good. You know, you get 13 from Stolke, 12 boards from Houston. Is this the kind of balance that you want, or is that almost a dumb question? Because every team wants to be balanced. You want your great teams to be great, but you got to be thrilled with that level of balance offensively from your team, right?
Yeah, I think whenever you have balance like that, it makes you hard to guard too. Because you have it's coming from all aspects instead of being able to key in on one player. So yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the box score so everybody can see the final box score here in just a second. Big thank you to Big Grove Brewery. They are the official watch party headquarters of the Hawks. I'm sure there were plenty of rowdy Hawkeye fans kicking back with an Easy Eddie or a Citrus Surfer this evening over at the Iowa City store, but great tap rooms across the state of Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Solon, Iowa City, Des Moines, and now in Omaha, Nebraska as well. Check it out. It's a great place. We got a lobby for one in Ames. That's my next push for Big Grove. They are going big, though. Kansas City in the works. And they are a great place to hang out and enjoy their food and their drinks. BigGrove.com to learn more. www.biggrove.com. Big Grove's big play of the game, Taylor Stremlo's spin move, plus the and one field goal. She missed the free throw, unfortunately, but that play made it 26-13. Iowa never looked back. That was early second quarter. Big Grove's big play of the game. And if we had to add up the number of we should do that at the end of the year. We should add up how many of these awards were given to Stremlo versus Stolke versus. I guarantee you Stremlo has everybody beaten. It's not close. Would you agree?
I think it's Stremlo and Chit Chat.
It's Stremlo and then Chit Chat. And frankly, after that, I don't know. Like, as far as flashy plays, and
I think those are the only two that I feel like we've ever given anything to. No, we did Tegan because we didn't have nothing to do.
Give one to Tegan.
But
we did give one. I do have a couple of notes here that I wanted to get to. First of all, I thought Parchment getting her second foul, 3 minutes into the game was huge because she really played well. She played well. I think it was it 2 days ago. I don't know what her stat line was yesterday, but and she hurt Iowa in Iowa City. So her getting that second foul, and credit to Kylie Feuerbach, that little sidestep, it would have been an offensive foul, but she was able to get an angle there so that Parchment was not square. Talk a little bit about the knack of responding as a ball handler when you're driving to the basket and you see a player sliding over to try to take a charge. What's the key to being able to see that and react on the fly?
Yeah, I think number one, I honestly don't. This isn't a knock to Kylie at all, because she did make the move and that was great. I don't think she would have gotten a charge anyways because her hands was like here. But at the same point in time, I was like, who takes a charge like this? But anyways, whatever. But Kylie, sidestepping, was able to catch the arm that was out there in that aspect. But I think that was huge for her because it slowed her down. Anytime you get two right away like that, it's very hard to come back from that and be as aggressive as you would normally. Now, mind you, I will say she is.
Uh-oh. All of a sudden, Cash.
A overly aggressive player by nature as far as like in post. She's like all.
Oh my God. Man, you got to watch the way StreamYard just caught all that up. Like you were talking at a million miles per hour and then it flashed back and you were doing one of these. Like it was like, at least from
waiting. Okay, anyway, let me start over. So basically, what I was saying was kudos to Kylie for catching her arm, because who takes a charge like this? Okay. Secondly, anytime you get 2 fouls early, it stops you from being aggressive. Now, what I mean for this particular player in aggressive is not like post or in the paint, because she's not really that kind of person anyway. She likes to be outside. She's like a finesse kind of post. But for her, she's a charge taker. That's what she does. Remember, she took a couple charges on Ava and our team in the last game. So for her, she couldn't do that anymore. She was not trying to do that anymore because she didn't want to pick up another cheap one. Because we all know charges are hell. Nobody knows what it's going to be. A block, a charge, anything of the sort. So I think for her, it kind of sidelined her in the aggressiveness that she would be normally. Overall, kudos to Kylie for taking advantage of that terrible positioning.
Daleb says if they can find a 6'6" or 6'7" player, they can make a championship run. How many 6'6", 6'7" players are out there? Cash. I mean, legitimate ones that are good enough to take up a roster spot at this level.
There's not many. I know that much.
Yeah, and
there's not many.
If they are,
women typically don't grow that tall.
Typically not.
It's not many of them, and then if they do, they gotta be coordinated. So,
can I ask you? Because this is
and they're playing volleyball, but go ahead.
This is relevant to Iowa. By the way, we're about to wrap the show up. If anybody has a call here at the last second, feel free to hop on StreamYard or call our line scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I want to get your thoughts on Audie Crooks and the Cyclone women. They are, toppling out of the Big 12 tournament this week. They are on the verge of being on the bubble, which I shouldn't say on the verge. They are on the bubble. And I believe the stat I read here yesterday was this is the second straight year where a preseason top 10 Cyclone women's basketball team finished on the bubble.
Damn.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that like, I mean, I know they dealt with some injuries. Addie Brown was dinged up this year, but isn't the first reaction like, oh, that's bad coaching? Like, y'all got talent, but
that is the first reaction.
So how much blame do you put on Bill Fennelly for a second straight year?
I mean, it's Audie Crooks was doing what Audie Crooks does, right? Yeah, they did have the Brown out for a little while when they had to slip during the middle of the season, but she came back. So, I mean, honestly speaking, yeah, maybe it's time for him to hang it up at this point. I don't like him, so you're not going to get anything besides criticism from me. No, I don't care for him. But honestly speaking, I think it's time Iowa State is over. But,
He recruited you. Why don't you like him?
I've never liked that man.
Why'd you visit? Why did you visit?
Well, first of all,
like him. Why
he recruited me very early. And my AAU coach at the time was like, you know what? You should go see, because Iowa State and Iowa are both recruiting me. You know how sometimes you have a better feeling in person. I'm a feeling person. I need to feel the environment.
Yeah.
So I went to just check it out. Check out the coaches, because you talk to them on the phone, but you're not like, in their faces and things like that. So I went, and that was it. Last time I went, I never talked to them again. I was like, I'm not interested.
Well, you shook his hand. You shook his hand a few times in the handshake line, I'm sure. After,
of course, because that's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do.
Well, if you're Fred Hoiberg,
we have Iowa class. Okay.
If you're Fred Hoiberg, you slap the phone out of someone's hand.
We have class. So.
All right, let's go quick fire on some of these questions here. We've got Steve wanting to know about momentum and confidence. Didn't Iowa give up both by watching their team get run over those last few minutes? That's an interesting perspective. Your thoughts on, he's talking about the late struggles from that second unit.
Steve, my name is spelled with a C. But outside of that, I can see your point. I think this is a very, very, very interesting, strong point. However, most starters don't care. They already know kind of like what happens in that aspect. So they don't really care too much. Now, if this happened with your starters in, I would be like, absolutely. But they don't care. They see it in practice every day. I can hear you, Corey.
The only thing it did is it probably hurt their, I don't know if the women's, I guess they probably use the same net system. I should know that, but it will hurt because of the margin of victory was not as high as it should have been. But I think that's marginal. I really don't think it's nearly as, I don't think getting in the weeds that much is worth, putting your players in a position where you could lose somebody really important in the last few minutes of a game this late in the year. So
1,000%.
Amanda says that I lose my voice after every game at Carver. Not when I'm there as media. If I'm there working a game, my voice is intact. All right. But I was not there as media last night, and it was a fun atmosphere. Khawk76 says, Corey, don't you think the announcers were terrible tonight? I like the lead gal. I can never think of her name, but I didn't have an issue with the announcers tonight. I like the Big Ten Network in general. So I think on the women's side, the Big Ten Network is far superior than their Peacock coverage. I do not like their Peacock coverage. I like the men's Peacock coverage. They had Paul Burmeister and Jess Settles on the call last night I could see from my seat that those two guys were on the call. So that was cool. Circle Hark wants to know, are we mentioning Guyton or no? Boy, she struggled tonight, Cash. I'll go ahead and share my...
Why do you do that? I had like two thoughts. One, I was thinking about Kai, and I think I put this in the Discord, because I was like, this is interesting not to put Kylie on like their best guard, Destiny Jackson. So I was like, but then I thought about it, and I was like, well, technically, Chit Chat is better guarding faster guards, right? And they're roughly the same kind of height. So, okay, cool. And then I was like, or I know Coach J doesn't think like this, but I feel like she should. Did they put our best defender on Aaliyah Guyton being like, you ain't going to have that kind of game again. I bet you not. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those scenarios. Like, I don't know. Like maybe it could have been a little bit of both, but like she played pretty well against us. So she was like, yeah, watch this. You're not going to play again like that. And you put our best defender on her. So I'm just going to say it's a little petty that Coach J did. I probably don't believe that, but I'm going to think so. I don't care.
Alex really wants to know what was so bad about your visit to Ames and Iowa State. What was so bad about it?
It is nothing that I can say on this here. What you call it? Yeah.
Well, that's not.
Ames is not for me. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know you said you got a weird feeling in Ames, but
Ames is not for me.
But the question here from Alex is, what was it about Iowa State and Finley?
I did not like Coach Finley. I felt like he was fake as hell. I did not like those assistant coaches. I did not see me getting along with none of them. Just the whole team did not fit me. And I did not feel like I would be appreciated at Iowa State. So there we go.
Okay. That's a good summary. So here is the official box score following tonight's game. You see Aaliyah Guyton with a big goose egg. Several goose eggs. No field goals made, no threes made. Let's see, no assists, no turnovers, but just scored 2 points, 3 rebounds. Yeah. And she didn't play great on Wednesday.
It's just not existent, honestly.
Yeah, she's not been playing great. She did play well against Iowa the first time around. You're right about that. But how about these numbers? Holding Illinois to 28% from the field in the first half, 39% from the field, first quarter, 39% from the field in the second quarter, 14% from the field in the third quarter. They made just 2 field goals that quarter. And then, yes, fourth quarter affects these numbers slightly, but in spite of the late issues with the second unit, they still, as a team, held the Illini to 33% on the night and 23% from 3. On the flip side, Iowa, 47% from the field, just 4 of 14 from 3, but so effective inside. You see paint points down here. Iowa was plus 10 in that category. And the Hawkeyes holding Illinois to 11 in the first, 12 in the second, 8.
7? God.
27 in the fourth. Think about that. They scored almost half of their points in the fourth quarter. Illinois literally, they scored almost half of their points in the fourth quarter. Kirk Wilcox in the super chat says Iowa women's wrestling team had as good of a day as the basketball team. Go Hawks! Do you follow? Have you ever followed anything related to Iowa women's wrestling?
I don't follow wrestling, period. So
yeah, you don't follow wrestling. I follow Iowa men's wrestling because of the show, but good to know they're having success. That I'm happy to know that.
Them.
Appreciate that super chat. Absolutely. And Paul, Cash doesn't like Bill Fennelly, so that's out there. And Bill Fennelly probably doesn't like Cash.
Oh, he definitely don't like me. That's for sure.
We've got Laura who says, do you think Addie was told to keep the ball at the end because they assumed Illinois would be fouling?
Not for 3 minutes. No, not.
Yeah. No, I don't. And by the way, I don't know that Addie's. I trust Addie at the free throw line any more than I trust Journey or Callie or maybe a little bit more than Layla. Brandon says, Cash, would you prefer Oregon or Michigan State? You mentioned that earlier.
Oregon, all day, every day.
Scott wants to know, is Iowa the best 2 or the worst 2 seed? Well, there's 4 2 seeds, so they don't have to be the best or the worst. But of the teams that are projected on that 2 line in the NCAA tournament right now.
Which is who?
I don't know. You're asking me questions I don't have answers to. Let me pull it up.
I figured you was already on your way to looking it up.
I'll look it up right now. All right. According to ESPN's bracketology, let's see here. Let me grab the most recent bracketology from Charlie Cream and ESPN. As of earlier today, let's see. He's got on the 2 line. Let's see if I can find it. Vanderbilt, LSU, Iowa, and Michigan. What are your thoughts on those 2 seeds? That's her thinking face, everybody. Nobody panic.
I only say this because every single last one of those 2 seeds, and us included, you have no idea which team you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I going to get the Vanderbilt team that we saw against Ole Miss to get throttled majority of the game? Like, they were horrible today. Do I get the LSU team that is just lackadaisical and doesn't care? Or do I get the LSU team that played really well against, what do you call it? A few teams, actually. They played against a few teams. That's a tough one. If I had to go, I would probably say LSU is probably the top two.
Let me just say this. I think the committee will have a pretty easy decision if it comes down to Iowa, Michigan. Like,
for sure, because we might play each other again.
The committee, assuming Michigan wins tonight and they're up at halftime, Michigan will likely, if they beat Iowa on a neutral, I think, even though Iowa beat them earlier this year at home, I think the committee is probably going to look at the neutral site matchup to determine where those two teams.
Out of all of those teams, though, every team's best player is a guard, except for us, and that can be a problem. But yeah, I was 3 or 4 in that group for me, somewhere around there.
Okay. Ryan Brown brings up the fact that Iowa apparently has the number 2 strength of schedule in the country. So, I mean, it's got to be splitting hairs. It's got to be splitting hairs in this league. But the fact, I guess I don't know if he's talking just Big Ten or for the season. They played UConn. They played Baylor on a neutral. They played Miami on a neutral.
SEC got to have some crazy strength of schedules, unless none of those teams played anybody in the non-conference. I know LSU didn't play nothing in the non-conference, but like UCLA is not above us. UConn, well, no, because their conference sucks. So South Carolina,
LSU. I mean, frankly, just go down the laundry.
LSU is horrible, and their non-conference is trash. They didn't play nobody.
Tennessee plays teams every year, right?
Tennessee played some teams. Vandy played some teams as well throughout their non-conference. Like, I don't know. Interesting. Anywho,
Oklahoma.
But yeah, I would say 3 or 4 in my opinion.
Oklahoma played teams, and they're in the SEC.
Yes, they did.
David says, what is Layla's ceiling? Is it another O'Grady? I think her ceiling is higher than Addie O'Grady's was.
I think so.
Why do you think so?
Addie O'Grady's her mentality is what stops her. Like, to be a post player, you got to have some gusto about you. Got to have some shit about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you battling down there. And that just wasn't her. She was very kind of like, you got it. So that kind of stops a lot of momentum in that aspect. But I also feel like her agility was also a stopping point for her. And I don't think Layla just needs to get stronger. Like, she is making post moves like 2 clicks outside of the paint. You can't do that. She just hasn't gotten into the Iowa post basketball yet of like doing your work early, because Layla, all she got to do is catch and turn. Like, literally. And Layla's not doing that. She's got to make 3 turns and all this other stuff because she's so far out. She's getting pushed out. So she just needs to get a lot stronger to get herself into the paint more and hold her position. And I think she'll be a little bit better.
Iowa defeating Illinois this evening, 64-58. And I just got an alert that the Baltimore Ravens acquired Max Crosby from the Raiders. So that's big NFL news. And just an update
29-33.
Yeah. Say that again.
29-33. Well, 35 now. 29-35, 8 minutes in the third.
We got a game over on Big Ten Network, so we'll get that over here in just a second. Yeah. Let me just see. Was there one more? There was something else I wanted to cover. I think we got everything, Cash. We're going to be back tomorrow. And just a real quick, I know people are going to be like rolling their eyes. Why do we got to hear this from you? Well, we don't often during post-game season talk about possible severe weather. Normally we're talking winter weather. But here is the latest from the National Weather Service. So this is what I was talking about. You've got much of the western part of the state with a tornado watch that expires at 10 p.m. Central Time, and now a new tornado watch for basically eastern Iowa, east of I-35, and south of Waterloo, Dubuque, Fort Dodge. Well, Waterloo, Dubuque south. So Fort Dodge is part of the tornado watch that expires at 10. But eastern Iowa, just stay on guard here over the next few hours as severe weather moves into your area. So just thought we'd throw that up there real quick. All right, Cash. Appreciate you being here. This should be a fun ending to Oregon, Michigan. And if that game can be close, even if Michigan wins it, they won't be able to get their starters out. Possibly could help Iowa tomorrow.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, run them ragged. Thank you. What time is the game tomorrow?
It's at 3. Let me pull it up here. It is at. Why do you ask me questions?
Please not the midday.
Here it is, 3:30 Central Time. What is wrong with that time? What is wrong with the time?
Saturday. Who wants to sit and watch basketball at 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
What time do you want to watch basketball?
In the evening, 6 o'clock, so I can get all of my errands run.
Can I just say this? Listen, you sound like the Iowa men's basketball fans of the last number of years. They complained because 8 p.m. tips were too late, 6 p.m. were too early.
No, that's okay. When in these scenarios, our game was perfect timing. I love that for us. But yeah, it's 4:30 my time, but I guess I got to get myself moving earlier tomorrow because I got some errands to run.
Get those errands run. Be safe out there, folks. Corey's sounding like a tyrant now. Oh, man. All right, folks, appreciate you being here. The Hawkeyes will be in the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament tomorrow. We thank Big Grove Brewery for sponsoring our coverage. Please hit the like button, join our Discord, or shoot me an email if you don't know how to do that or would like to sponsor the show. info@fromthehawkeyeofthestorm.com. We'll talk to you more tomorrow.